Welcome back to another video. Today we will discuss about this problem on GFG common elements. So in this problem, what we have to do, we have to find the common elements between all three arrays. So whichever is the common element, we need to print that, right? So let us discuss this problem and the intuition behind this. So we will use three pointer approach. We will use I, J, and K, and we will compare all three elements. So whichever is the smallest between all three, we will increment that index. So if I is the smallest, we will increment I. So how we will compare all three? We will do, if I is less than j, so we will increment I plus plus. If j is less than k, we will do j plus plus. Else we will do k plus plus, because of course k will be the smallest element if neither of one. Okay, so what we will do, first let's try to implement this. So let us compare I and j, because this will be in if else if condition. So first let's compare I and j. So is I smaller than j? Of course it is, so we will increment I. Now is I smaller than j? It is, so we will increment I. So I will point to 10 now. Now is I smaller than j? It's not. Is j smaller than k? It is not, so we will increment k. Now is I smaller than j? It is not. Is j smaller than k? It's not, so we will move k. Now is I smaller than j? It's not. Is j smaller than k? So yeah, j is smaller, so we'll increment j. Now is I smaller than j? It is not. So j is smaller than k, of course it is, so we will increment j. So j will point to 20. Now is I smaller than j? It is, so we will increment I. Is I smaller than j? It is not. Is j smaller than k? It is. It is not. So we will increment k, because k is the smallest element. Now is this 3 equal? Yeah, they all are equal. So we will print that. We'll store it in array, store it in an array, or we can print it, right? And after printing it, we will increment all three by 1. So we'll increment all of them by 1. Now I will point to 40, j will point to 80, and k will point to 30. Now again we will repeat this same procedure and try to find the common element. Okay, so is I smaller than j? It is, so we will increment I. So I will point to the last index. Is j smaller than k? It is not, so we will increment k. Now is this both are equal, but this is smaller yet, so we will increment this. So it will point to 80. Now as you can see, all three are equal. We will store it in an array, and will, or either we can print it, right? After this we will increment it. So as you can see that the first array got out of bound. So this is it got out of bound. So after one of our array getting its limit exceeded, we will stop checking, because even if, because there won't be any common element which will be common in all of three arrays. So yeah, so we will stop checking that. So yeah, that was the intuition behind this array. So you can try implementing the code because that's very easy. What you can do, you can keep a while loop here, which will check for the length of the array and use the end condition between them. Let us discuss the code for this problem. So so what we have done, we have used three pointers I, j, and k. So all three are assigned to 0, and let me just okay. So here is, so what we have done, we have created a vector int array which will be the output array which we have to return. So while I is less than n1 and j is less than n2 and k is less than n3, what we will do, we will first check if I is equal to b of j and b of j is equal to c of k. If it is, so what we will do, we will push back the a of I, which is the current element, and we will do I plus plus, j plus plus, and k plus plus. And else if a of I is less than a of j, we will do I plus plus. If b of j is less than c of k, we will do j plus plus, and else we will do k plus plus, and return the array. So now what is this previous? So what is previous? If let's take an example, that if we have some elements like, let me just have a custom input. So if I have elements like 3 3 3 3 and 3 3, so what it will do, it will try to print all three elements three times. So it will print 3 then 3 then 3 in the output array. So for handling that, we have given the note that can you take care of the duplicates without using any additional data structure. So for that, we have used this previous integer, which will keep track of the previous element. So what we have done in if condition, in else condition, while pushing back the current element, if we found the same element, we are storing that current element in the previous integer, right? And then doing I plus plus, j plus plus, and k plus plus. So after storing that, what will happen, it will come to 3, and it will check if the previous element was 3 as well. If it was 3, it will just increase the indexes and won't push back in the array. It will keep on doing that, and for this array we will have the output as only 1 time 3. So let's run this. So as you can see, we got only 1 3. If we do not have this previous check, we would have got 3 times 3, which is wrong, right? So yeah, that's it. Thank you.